Hey guys, it's Michael from CraftVWP, and in this video, I'm excited to show you how to create a 3D website using WordPress and Elementor. So this is the website that we'll be creating. It's a pretty simple website. We have a title here, we have a progress bar, and we have a description. Now the most standout feature of this website is of course the rocket that's on the right, and it's a 3D rocket. You can see it's pretty interactive, so I can zoom in, I can zoom out, and I can also move it around. So to use this rocket, I actually used a website called Spline. Now Spline is a 3D design tool that allows you to create 3D elements or use elements that were designed by the community and then integrate them into your website. What I did for this tutorial, and this tutorial was actually inspired by another YouTuber called Codex Community, which also used the rocket in their design, so props to them. For my tutorial though, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to create a coming soon page, which is something that you can create for any website that you're planning to launch, whether that is for your own business or for your client. So in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to add the title, how to add the progress bar, how to add the description, the background, the effect that you see on the background, and then also how to integrate the rocket as well, this amazing rocket that you're seeing on the website. So I hope you're excited. Real quickly before we begin, please drop a like on this video and remember to subscribe. Remember, I have so much videos coming out and I want you to be a part of the community. Alright, so let's get started. Let's create an amazing coming soon page. So I'll be building this coming soon page on my website, let'screateasite.com. And so of course, to get a website up on the internet, you will need a hosting account and a website name. A website name is basically the name of your website, and the web hosting account is where you store all your website files so that they can be accessible on the internet. Now I won't spend too long on this, but I just want to say if you do want to get a hosting account and a domain name, you can just go to craftmewp.com/siteground, and that will take you to my recommended host. Now I've been using SiteGround for years and they are professional. They have amazing resources to help your website succeed, and they're also ultra fast, so you'll definitely want to consider SiteGround. SiteGround actually reached out to me to let me know that they have a special going on, and for a limited time only, you can basically get a free domain name with your hosting account. So typically domains cost, but for a limited time only, they are free. So once you're on the website, you're going to go to Start Now. So let me click here and you'll see several different plans. Now, if you're just creating one website, I do recommend the startup plan. But if you're thinking about multiple websites, then the Grow Big plan is here as well. So I'm going to click on Get Started at the startup plan. Alright, so that will bring you on this screen and you'll see the option to enter a domain here. Of course, this is free again, so if you're thinking about SiteGround, definitely click on the link in the description box and go for an account. So I'm just going to go with Craft Me a Website, and I'm going to leave the extension at .com. And then I'm going to click on Continue. Alright, if the name is free, you'll of course see this message and then you'll start filling in some information. So these are those typical details that you need to put in order to get your SiteGround account. You're going to fill in your account details, some client details, and these are for your account. And let's continue scrolling. You'll see the option for some payment information. So you'll just want to put in your card number, expiration date, and year. You'll also put in your name and CVV code. And finally, you'll see this option here to confirm your purchase information. So we're going to go with the startup plan, and we're going to go for the 12 months package that comes at a total cost of $35.88 for the entire year. So you can pretty much get a website up and online for this low price, and you don't have to worry about purchasing a domain name either. So that's great all around. If I click on this drop down, you'll see that there are several different options. I don't recommend the 1 month plan just because the price is so much higher and you pretty much get a better value for your buck by going for the 12 months plan. Next, we'll see the extra services, and the domain registration again is free. So we're going to leave that as is. And you'll see some other options here, such as domain privacy and the site scanner. These are totally optional, and I don't always get them for my website. So you can decide if you'd like them or not. For maximum savings, I'm actually just going to leave these off, and I'm going to scroll down, and here we can see that the total price that we have to pay is only $35.88 for the entire year. So we can pretty much get our website up, we can launch our coming soon page, and then we can actually build out our website. The last thing for you to do is to actually confirm these options here just by clicking on the checkboxes and clicking on Pay Now. Once you click on Pay Now, your card will be charged and you'll pretty much have a SiteGround account. The next thing for you to do is look out for an email from SiteGround, and from there, you'll be able to log into your SiteGround account. Now, once you've done that, installing WordPress is pretty simple. I've actually walked through the process in several videos, so you can always look at one of those videos just to see how I went ahead and installed WordPress. For the purpose of keeping this tutorial short and simple, I'm just going to dive right into creating the website. Alright, so let's jump back over to our sample site, and of course this is the default WordPress theme that I have on letscreateasite.com. And so the first thing that I need to do is I need to go to the back office. So I'm going to go to the dashboard here. So we're in the dashboard of WordPress, and I'm going to click on Appearance and Themes. Alright, so you'll see this option up top, and I'm going to click on Add New Theme, and I'm going to install this theme called Hello Elementor. If you're not seeing this theme here, you can pretty much search for it up top just by typing in Hello Elementor. Now, this is a minimalistic and very lightweight theme, and I use it a lot when I'm creating custom websites. And for the purpose of this tutorial, I think it would be perfect to use for our coming soon page. So we're going to go ahead and click on Install, and then I'm going to click on Activate. Alright, so the next thing for us to do is to install Elementor, the plugin. So once we've installed the theme, you'll see this option here. And if you're not seeing it, then you can also go to plugins and add new plugin. And then you can search for the plugin up top. So let's type in Elementor here. And here it is. So I'm going to click on Install Now. And then I'm going to click on Activate. Alright, so our plugin is activated. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to start creating the page. So I'm going to go to Pages and Add New Page, and I'm just going to give this page a name. So let's say Coming Soon. And then I'm going to click on Publish. Alright, just for kicks, let's take a look at what the page looks like currently. Alright, so here's our coming soon page, and of course it's very basic. We just pretty much have a title up top and it's very bare, so there's nothing else on the page. We can pretty much make this page our own. Alright, so let's go back to the dashboard. I'm just going to go to Settings and Reading. Let's actually make this coming soon page that we created our home page. So I'm going to select that there, and I'm going to click on Save Changes. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Permalinks, and I'm going to change this from plain to post name. Then I'm going to click on Save Changes. Alright, this pretty much helps us to clean up the website address a bit. So instead of having p equal 1234 for our page, we'll have our website name / our page name. So in this case, it's going to say letscreateasite.com / coming soon. Now, because we also set the coming soon page as our home page, we won't even have to worry about website addresses, but this will definitely help as we create more pages on our website when we're actually building out the website. Alright, so now it's time to start designing the page itself. So we're going to go to Pages and All Pages, and I'm going to go to Coming Soon, and let's click on Edit here, and then I'm going to click on Edit with Elementor. Alright, so here's our website. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the Settings tab, and I'm going to click on Hide Title. We don't want to see that there. And then I'm going to change the page layout to Elementor Canvas, just so we have a completely blank slate. Alright, so this is looking great. Now I'm going to click on update. Alright, so now that we have a completely blank canvas, we're going to click on the add new container option. And for this, I'm going to use a 2-column layout. So let's go ahead and click on this here. And next, we're going to just pull across the content that we need on the left-hand side. So I'm going to have the coming soon information on the left, and I'm going to have the rocket on the right. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click on heading. Let's drag across a heading here, and let's go back again and let's drag across a text. Alright, so that's the basic design there. Now let's change the text to coming soon. Right, so let's write coming soon here. And for the text, this can pretty much be anything that you want to mention on your coming soon page. For me, I'm just going to put some content that I pre-wrote. So I'm going to highlight this text here and I'm going to put this information here. So again, you can pretty much change this how you'd like. Now we're going to customize this a little bit later, but I want to jump over to putting in our rocket. Alright, so as I mentioned, I'm going to put the rocket on the right, and the website I'm going to use is called Spline. So let me go to spline.design. So this is a website that allows you to create some amazing 3D designs, and I've been experimenting with it a lot because I want to start integrating 3D into some of my web designs for both my clients as well as my own projects. So it's free to sign up. You pretty much click on get started. It's free. I of course have an account, so I'm just going to click on login. Now, once you sign up, you may actually see that they have some plans, both a yearly plan and a monthly plan. This is totally optional. And of course, you can read all the features. But for me, I'm just going to click on maybe later. Now, Spline allows you to create your own 3D effects and your own 3D animations. And they're really, really amazing. But I can't design to save my life. So I can't create my own designs, at least not yet. But I definitely want to start exploring it more and see how I can create my own designs and create some really amazing things. For our rocket design, I'm actually going to use something that was created by the community. So on the left hand side, you'll see that there is this community tab here, and you can see that I was experimenting with it before, but I'm just going to click on community here. And here's our rocket. You can actually search for the rocket up top as well. You can see that it was created by this community member. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the rocket here. And once I do that, it's pretty much going to load everything up. And here's our rocket design. So you'll see this note which says press on the canvas to focus and interact. And so if you click, you can pretty much see all the interactivity with this rocket. I can turn things around and it's just some really cool effects. Now typically you're able to go ahead and start customizing this rocket if you'd like. For example, you could perhaps change the colors, you could add some more animation effects, or you could just change the overall look and feel of the rocket. But again, I'm not a designer, I'm not experienced with 3D, so for the purpose of this example, I'm just going to use the rocket as is. So if I scroll down a bit, you'll see this option which says remix. So I'm going to click on that option. You'll then be taken to this page, and for me, I'm going to click on skip. And here's our 3D rendering of the rocket. So you'll see all the events on the right. You'll see all the different settings that you can interact with. And then you could pretty much change this how you'd like. I'm going to click on export since I want to use a rocket as is. And once I'm here, I'm going to click on play settings. And I'm going to turn off the background color. So I'll be applying my own background on the website. So I just want a completely empty background. So let's click on hide and you'll see some other settings here. I'm going to leave these as is. It would be great if I was able to turn off the logo. So there will be a small Spline logo that is displayed on our 3D design, but because we're using the free version, we don't have the option to remove that. So that's fine for now. I'm just going to leave this as is. I've turned off the background color. And next, I'm just going to go back to overview. And next, I'm just going to click on update public URL. And so that will ensure that my changes are saved. Alright, so once that's done, I'm then going to go ahead and click on overview. and I'm going to click on copy embed. Right, so I've copied that embed code, and this is of course a iframe code. So I'm going to go back here. Let's go back, and I want to put the iframe here. So I'm going to search for the HTML widget, and let's drag this across, and I'm going to paste the code here. So let's right click and click on paste. Alright, so here's our rocket now in place. I want this to take up a little bit more space, so I'm going to change this from 100% to 700 pixels. That is the height. So let me go ahead and replace this 100% and let's put 700 pixels. And there we go. So this is looking amazing, right? And as you can see, I can zoom in and out as I'd like. Now the page still looks pretty bare, and I do want to fix things up a bit. I want to style it so it looks a lot more professional. And so that's what we're going to do next. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this main container here, and where it says justify content, I'm just going to click on center. Where it says align items, I'm also going to click on center. And here we have the text now aligned on the page, and this is looking good. Alright, so now I'm going to start editing the font. So I'm going to click on this option here, and I'm going to go to style, and let's change the typography here to a new font type. So let's go with this one called Bebas New, and I'm going to set the size to 129 pixels. Let's close this here. Okay, that looks great. I'm going to change this to white a little bit later on, but for now I'm going to leave this as is, and I'm going to then go ahead and edit this one. So let's click on the edit icon. Then I'm going to click on style, and I'm going to click on typography, and let's change the font type here as well. So let's use Rupa Sans, and I'm going to go for about 42 pixels. This looks a little bit too big. Let's reduce this just a tad bit. Alright, that looks great. So let's take a look at everything so far, and this looks amazing. Now we're going to start putting in a background. So I'm going to put in a background on the overall web page. So to do that, I'm going to click on the container option here, and I'm going to click on style, and I'm going to click on background type. Then you'll see the option to add an image. So let's go ahead and do that and select files. And let's see if I can find the file that I used on the website. So I'm just looking for a nice space image. So I'm in my downloads, and here it is. Now I actually got this photo from Pixabay. It was either Pixabay or Pexels.com, and they provide royalty-free images. And so if you pretty much search for terms like space or Milky Way or galaxy, you'll see a bunch of images that you can actually use. So I'm going to use this one that I have here. I'm going to go ahead and select it. And now that I have that in place, I can start making some customizations to the background itself. So the first thing I'm going to do is the positioning. I'm going to change to center. Right, so you can see that adjustment there. Next, I'm going to change attachment to fixed. And this will ensure that as we scroll on the page, the background pretty much stays consistent. Next, I'm going to click on repeat, and I'm going to see no repeat. All right, I don't want that background repeating. Next, I'm going to click on display size, and I'm going to click on cover. And that's looking great. All right, so now I'm going to scroll down a bit, and where it says background overlay, I'm going to click on this option, and I'm going to click on classic. And here I'm going to set a background. So let's go for a purple color. And this is the hexadecimal code that I used for this purple. And now I'm going to turn down the opacity just a tad bit. So let's go down a little bit. Let's see, I think this probably works. We can always adjust this if we'd like, and that's looking awesome. Next, I'm going to change the colors of the text. So for the blue color here, I'm just going to click on the edit option, and I'm going to select the white. Right, so that's looking amazing. And for the text at the bottom, I'm going to go for a color that looks almost whitish gray. Let's see what we can get here. So it's not exactly white, but it's a little bit off from white. Let's see how this looks. All right, and I think this looks great. So this is the opacity on the background here, and I think this is really coming alive. And of course we have the interactivity of our rocket, which is really, really cool. Let's see what else we can add. So another cool feature of Elementor, the free version, is the option to add a progress bar. So let's go back to our widgets, and I'm just going to type in the word progress. Here's our progress bar. And I'm just going to drag this in place here. Alright, so this is good if you have a portfolio website and you want to show the amount of skills that you have. But in my case, I'm going to edit this a bit so that we show the progress of the website. So this is really cool if we have someone visit the website and we want them to know where we are in the development stage. We can actually use this progress bar. So for the title, I'm going to remove this here. And for the inner text, I'm just going to write the text website progress. All right, and we can of course interact with this value. So let's say we're about 74% complete with the website. We can have that there. And the final thing for us to do is to actually change the color of the bar itself. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and click on style, and I'm going to click on the color option here, and I'm going to change the value. So I'm using a purple color here, and of course you can also drag this around and find the right color that you'd like to use. There's also some other options under the progress bar. So I could change the border radius, and you can see we have more of a curved border here. And I think that's a nice effect. We can also change the height. So if you want the height of our progress bar to change, we can also do that as well. Next, I'm going to change the text of the progress bar. So where it says text here, we can change things like the color. I think I'm okay with the color as it is, but I probably want to change the text size. So let's go a little bit larger. And I think this works. Let's go with 18 or 17 pixels. I think that looks great. Let's see title style. This is another option here. Is there anything changing? I'm not seeing anything change here. I think this actually controlled the title that was on top, and we're no longer using that. So I don't think that will actually apply. All right, so this looks great. I think I want to reduce the opacity of the background just a little bit more. So let's go back here and let's click on the opacity. Let's reduce this just a tad bit more. So we have that purple effect, but it's not too overbearing. All right, and I think this looks great. So now let's go ahead and click on update, and let's view our design. So here we go. We have an amazing website here, an amazing coming soon page, and anyone that visits our website, they'll see our message and they'll see our awesome 3D rocket. Now the final thing for us to do is just to ensure that this looks good on mobile. And so I'm going to go to responsive mode at the bottom, and let's take a look at the tablet portrait. Right, I think this looks great. And let's click on mobile portrait. All right, and I think this also looks great. We can of course reduce the sizing a bit. So if I click on the pencil icon here, let's click on content, or style rather. And let's click on the pencil icon, and let's reduce this just a tad bit. So we can go with probably 98 pixels. The line height may need some adjustment. Let's change this to pixels as well. And let's adjust this. So I think we're going to go with about 84. And we can also change the size of this text here. So let's change the size just a tad bit. Finally, on mobile, we may just want to adjust the padding a bit. So let's go to advanced. So I'm editing the container, and I'm going to add about a 50 pixels top padding. And let's add some to the left. let's add about 30 to the left and 30 to the right. And I think that looks pretty decent. All right, let's go back to tablet again. Tablet is good, but the font size is a little bit too large. So let's reduce this just a tad bit. So I think we went with 84 on mobile. Let's go with about 102. And let's change the line height a bit. So let's change this to pixels. And we're going to go with, I think that is good. And we can also reduce the size of this if we'd like. So let's change this size just a bit. And I think that's great. So we have an amazing design on desktop, we have an amazing design on tablet, and we also have an amazing design on mobile. Now, once you're happy with all the changes, you can go ahead and click on update, and that will make all the changes live on the website. I think I want to add a padding here on tablet. Sorry, I'm just thinking about this as I'm creating it. So let's edit the container. Let's go with 30 left and 30 right. And we're going to click on update. Now, this is a professionally designed coming soon page, but there's so much more that you can actually do with this page. For example, instead of a progress bar, we could have an email field, and that would allow persons to actually put in their email and subscribe, so that when we officially launch the website, we could then send out an email blast to let our subscribers know that our website was launched and that they can go ahead and now check it out. So that's also something that you could integrate with your design as well. All right, now that you have a coming soon page, it's time to start working on your actual website. And for that, I recommend the tutorial that is displayed on the screen now. Go ahead and watch it, and I'll see you in the next video.